Hello, my name is Jay. I'm going to walk through a full Git flow today while building a Hello World Node.js server. I'll be using Git Bash, Google Chrome, and VS Code Studio on Windows 10. I will start with navigating to the folder I would like to place my repo into locally with Git Bash. I have a folder in my document called practice. That is usually where I like to put anything that is coming from GitHub. Using the command of git clone plus the URL from the repo I would like to clone, we can effectively download all of the content of this repository to my local machine. Now that I have seen 100% 7 out of 7 done, I know that I have effectively downloaded all of the files from the repo. Now what I'm going to do is navigate into the folder that I've just downloaded, which was created by the Git clone. So this is going to be called GitFlowExample. Now that I'm inside of GitFlowExample, I need to do a couple of things. First thing I need to do is check out into my own branch. I want to create my own branch to work on as it is best practice. I do not want to push any code to the master branch. So I will use the command of git checkout -b, and then this is where I'm going to create a new branch name. I'm going to use my first and last name. So now you can see I've switched to a new branch called jay-maas. The next thing that I'm going to do is from the terminal, I'm going to touch app.js, which is basically going to create a file inside of that directory. Now I want to make sure that this is available on my GitHub. So the next step that I can do to verify that my repository in GitHub and my repository on my local machine are actually different is by using the command of git status. And we can see that git status has allowed us to see that this is red, which means that it is not staged. In order to stage this, we will use the command git add with the period after, and that will add every file that is different from the repo on GitHub. So now that I have added it, I want to just verify that I have the green light. This shows me that, yes, I have added the new file of app.js to be staged and sent it. So I'm now going to use the git commit -m. Inside of a set of quotes, I am going to use this as my message to myself or to others that may look at my code base to understand. So I would like to put project initialized, created new file app.js. Very descriptive and not too long. So I will hit enter, and the next and last thing that I need to do in order to get this to GitHub is to type git push origin jay-maas. When I hit enter, it is actually going to create a new branch for me on my GitHub. And we can see this even live updated for us. And we can now see that it wants to know if I'd like to compare and pull. I actually do. And since those changes are there, I can create this pull request. I have already added a peer to be a collaborator on this repository with me on GitHub. So I can actually add them as a reviewer on my branch. And you can see I've selected them and it shows their name there for me. And so now basically I just need to double check that I am creating a pull request from my repository branch, my name, jay-maas, onto the master branch. I can click create pull request. I'm not going to close this pull request. I'm not going to merge it. I'm going to leave it open so that way my collaborator can view everything I'm doing and help me make sure that my code is ready to in fact go to the master branch. So now that I have brought the code down, I'm going to open the folder that contains the code that we cloned. And so that was called GitFlowExample. And I don't want to go into the folder. I just want to select it from here. So I hit select folder. And we can see that a couple of things have came down with this. The app.js that I touched from the terminal, there is a README and a license, also a get-ignore file. We want to just go straight into the app.js file, and I'm going to start building the server. This is going to be a basic HTTP server that is just going to send a message of hello world. So I will not explain in depth too much. I'm just going to write the code here. I'm going to use an arrow function here, which is provided to us by the ES6. Looks like I have an error here. Expected a semicolon. Oops, writing the wrong set here. So this needs to actually be res. Yeah, there we go. I will be posting the link to the repository, so that way, if you're not able to follow along, you will have somewhere to reference. And there we have it. This will work. So before I make a commit message, let's test to see if this works. I like to use my terminal in VS Code in order to launch whatever I make. So the way to run this is actually going to be with the command of node app.js. And we can see that I have an error. I have a typo. That will happen. Now I can try to run this again. Node app.js. And we now can navigate to localhost 3000. And we can see there is our message. And just to show, we can start it up again. And if we refresh this, there we go, we get a nice message. So we want to make sure though that this is available on GitHub, because how would anybody be able to tell what my code was? If it's just on my local machine, it's not available on GitHub. So the next, what we're going to do is just go through the commands again. I want to just check, is my code on GitHub the same as on my local? And when I do get status, it tells me no, it's not. So the next thing that I will want to do is do git add period git commit dot m, and I'll just make a message here. Do my best to spell. I like to make this a little more descriptive. There we go. Now the last and final step of this will be a git push to the branch name jay-maas. And I'm actually going to catch an error here. Maybe not. Okay, great. So we can see that I have pushed another commit, and it just stacks on here onto my pull request. So it's okay to open a pull request immediately. Now I can continue to collaborate with my peer and await for them to review my code before taking it to master. Thank you for watching my video. Please leave a comment and a like if you enjoyed. Bye.